This video is sponsored by Bellesa. Stay tuned for more details on our massive toy giveaway. Hi guys, how are you? I'm doing so great. Thanks for asking. Welcome back to Daddy Hannah. I'm very excited about today's video because this is a part 2 to my first Bi Awakening video, which I will link over here. Why do we need a part 2? Because I was super gay as a kid and didn't know, so I have a lot of them. And thank you to everybody who commented your personal gay awakening characters, because it literally triggered all these memories for me in a good way of other characters that I had forgotten. So y'all were so helpful. Before we get into that, I have very exciting news. This video is sponsored by Bellesa. Bellesa is a bi women company for all things sexual wellness. Their mission is to empower everyone to embrace, explore, and celebrate their sexuality. So Bellesa and I go way back. I have been a very loyal Bellesa customer, and I'm going to take you through some of the magical toys that they sent me. This is called the Air Vibe. Will always hold a special place in my heart because it's the first purchase from Bellesa that I made. This is the Air Vibe Pro that comes with a little remote for some hands-free enjoyment. Bellesa's products are waterproof and rechargeable, and they come in these discreet little cases. Oh, is that your makeup, Hannah? No, it's my vibrator. They charge in the discreet case, which is just so amazing. The Air Vibe also has dual stimulation for the G-spot and the bean, so you're covered. This one is called the Pebble, and I also owned this one. Y'all really do learn more about me over on this channel, don't you? Suction and vibration controlled independently, fits in the palm of your hand, and most importantly, there are no annoying vibration settings. Who needs those? Not us. This one is called Thump. This toy does it all. It vibrates, suctions, and thumps, and utilizes Bellesa's improved Pleasure Jet technology, innovative thump technology for natural clitoral palpitations on the back of the pop grip. So, right there. Genuinely, I love Bellesa. I just think that they're a fantastic company. There is something for everyone. My friends at Bellesa and I are literally giving away free toys, free gift cards to pick out your own toy to everyone who enters the giveaway in the link in my bio. Thank you again to Bellesa for sponsoring this video. Don't forget to enter the giveaway down below. Everybody wins something. Let's get a little girly, okay? A couple honorable mentions from my Bi Awakening video part 1. Jessica Rabbit, Jasmine in her little like red slave outfit, Poison Ivy, Chell from Road to El Dorado, right? These are all big ones. Here's one that I forgot to mention until someone put it in the comments. Roxanne from A Goofy Movie. Had no business being so fine. I got it. I got why Max was super into her. I'm just realizing this is another redhead. I'm into redheads. Who isn't? She was so cool and like pretty, and she would always like hold her books and be like, what? She needed to be at the top of my list, and I am genuinely ashamed that I forgot about her. So sorry, Roxanne. This one might be a deep cut because I don't know how many of you out here were as big of fans of this show as I was, but Fran Fine from The Nanny. The Nanny is like my top favorite show ever. I watched it a lot when I was a kid, and I own all the seasons on DVD as well. Fran Fine, no pun intended, literally so fine. Oh my God, she's so fine. She just like walks around with her tights and like mini skirts, also being unapologetically herself. I freaking love her. I just love her. Genuinely such a fun character. And I will always remember learning what crossing a picket line meant from Fran in that one episode where Mr. Darcy, I don't know what his name is. Let's just call him Mr. Darcy. Mr. Darcy is taking her to a restaurant and they're on strike. And she's like, no, I can't go in there. I'm not going to cross a picket line. And I think she even says something about like, my mom taught me a couple things. One of them was not to ever cross a picket line. And I love that about her. To this day, Fran Drescher is she the president of SAG-AFTRA? Whatever. She's just done amazing things for the industry. I'm obsessed with her, and she has aged like fine wine. She looks gorgeous. Still obsessed. I don't know if I should be embarrassed about this one, but I've already shared too much about myself on the internet. So, what's one more? The Sailor Moon transformation sequence. That was a big deal. You can't see anything, but you can tell while she's transforming, she's naked for like a nanosecond. And that was very important to me. as a kid. Again, the way that I described these moments was I just think of that, of like, what is this feeling? Also, I saw Wicked for the first time recently, guys. I might make a whole video on it. I have a lot of feelings. What is this feeling? Like genuinely being like, I don't understand what is coming up in me. I don't hate it, but I am confused. And that was one of the one of the moments. Okay, sharing the same spot is Hocus Pocus. Number 1, Sarah Sanderson in Hocus Pocus. Just as like a kid, pink was my favorite color, and I just thought she looked like a witchy Barbie. Long blonde hair. She also just looked fantastic in that corset, especially when she was on the broom singing and she was like leaning forward. You know what I mean? The girls who get it, get it. And that was very important to me as well. The way she would say like, boys, let me play with them. I just loved her so much. Secondly, one of my favorite lines, I guess it's not even a line, it's just a word from Hocus Pocus, is Yabos. His little sister is like, Allison, yeah, he really likes you and your Yabos. Which is just hilarious. So I do use Yabos sometimes when I'm trying to be funny. And if people know that it's from Hocus Pocus, instantly we are best friends. That is just like such a deep cut, such a like knowing the origin of Yabos. I really like that. But yeah, Allison, I thought she was gorgeous. Although I didn't really know why she liked Max. Weird. He's just like in her house. And then his sister says that he likes her boobs. I don't know why she was so into him, but there you go. And like, speaking of corsets, Keira Knightley in Pirates of the Caribbean. Basically just that, like broadly, she just looked fantastic. But specifically when she almost drowns and then somebody rips her corset off, literally a bodice ripper. I was a big fan of that moment. And I was so glad that someone put that in my comments because you get it. You get it. This is another big one. The entire movie of Charlie's Angels, truly, they looked so good. And I loved the girl power. It was amazing. Cameron Diaz, like dancing around in her little underwear at the beginning. But y'all know what I'm going to say, right? Comment below if this is the moment that you know, and I don't even have to say it. Lucy Liu, when she goes to that, I don't know, that business, I don't know what she's doing there, but she's like wearing practically latex and being like a dominatrix in front of just this big room of men. It's a very fun scene. So powerful. She looked incredible. Definitely that was a moment where I was like extra confused. I was like, there are things happening here that are making me feel some type of way I can't even comprehend. Not until now. This is probably a weird one, all right? I really would rather you guys not like look too deeply into the psychology of this one for me, okay? The parents from Spy Kids.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I was like 10 when that movie came out. But the parents just were so hot. They were so hot and they were so into each other. And I just love that. They gave off like Gomez and Morticia vibes, which by the way, Morticia, Angelica Houston is that Addams Family Values? Yeah. Honorable mention. But truly, the parents from Spy Kids, such babes, so hot, so in love, so into each other. Isn't that what we should all strive for, like with our partners? Especially if you're like married for a long time. Chemistry going down? No. For them, going up. Here's another one that I thought was a deep cut, but quite a few people put it in the comments. Do y'all remember Miss Honey from Matilda? I mean, so sweet, so beautiful, such a great character. But there's one moment in particular where she's wearing her glasses. This is after like Matilda does some crazy math in her head and she just like looks over the rim of her glasses. It's hot. And I know some of you understand exactly what I mean. You know, some of you put it in the comments and some of you might have been too ashamed to put it in your comments, but I see you. It was just confident. It was just like powerful woman. And I like a powerful woman, you know? Y'all, I have another redhead on this list. The mayor's assistant from Powerpuff Girls. You know, the one where you basically just see like chin down, which is, you know, pretty objectifying, but we're not looking too deep into that because we're just having a silly, fun, goofy time right now, right? The joke was that the mayor was so short, right? So you can only see that much of her, but she had a body yaddy yaddy for real. I was a big fan. Another redhead. Maybe this shows that I'm just obsessed with myself, or that I think that this is an original thought about me being a redhead, but really it isn't. Or maybe I'm just a product of my childhood and it's not my fault that there were so many hot redheads in the media. Not my fault. I have had people tell me that I was the reason that they went red, and some people like blame me. They're like, I have to upkeep this now and it is all your fault. And I'm like, I'm really sorry about that, but also not, because we need more redheads in the world. Actually couldn't believe that I didn't include this in the first one, Slave Leia. And the funny thing is I just watched the episode of Friends where Ross tells Rachel that that's a fantasy and everybody makes fun of him like he's a big nerd. I'm sorry, we're not gonna pretend that not every single person, doesn't matter who you were, doesn't even matter your sexuality, saw that scene, saw Slave Leia and wasn't like, auga. And I hate Ross, okay? I have a video coming soon about why Ross is the worst character ever. But even I was like, I get it. I agreed with him. I was like, why are they making fun of him for this? But then at the end of that episode, you get to see Rachel in the Slave Leia costume, so I guess it was fine. In part 1, I did say something that unfortunately I'm going to have to walk back. I said that the Disney princesses weren't really like an awakening for me. There are a couple exceptions to that. Meg from Hercules, she's on this list. Esmeralda in Hunchback, so hot. Literally didn't have to be that hot, but thank God, thank you to the animators. So hot. But I want to talk about Mulan and Li Shang they have to be the same spot on this list because genuinely also had me thinking about gender and what that means. Learned that maybe this was the start when I started being into masked lesbians. I think the truth is that Mulan is into women. I don't understand her and Li Shang's relationship, but them together, like the manliest man, Li Shang singing I'll Make a Man Out of You. So hot. And such a great song. And then Mulan being like drop dead gorgeous, cutting off her hair and then going to war and winning that war. That's a girl boss if I've ever heard of one. So Mulan and Li Shang, hotties. That's a power couple. I can't believe I'm actually not going to be able to get through all of these. I am not doing a part 3, okay, of this series. So I think I might just do a rapid fire and not talk about every single one of them. Blake Lively in Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. Specifically her. Oh my God. A side note, how weird is it that America Ferrera's entire like storyline in that movie / book is that she's like fat? She's not. God, what an awful time to like be a teenage girl. We watched that. Like they acted like she was obese. Girl was thick. She was like a little curvy and suddenly she's just can't fit into anything. And she's so self-conscious. I hated that part of the movie. But that was a tangent. Kida from Atlantis. This is not one that was on my list, but it was said so many times in the comments, I had to give her an honorable mention. Here's a man, Uncle Jesse from Full House. I watched a lot of Full House. It was one of my favorite shows. I've always been into a bad boy. He was a bad boy with a soft side. And I was very into that. I liked him and his leather jacket. Tarzan and Jane together. Tarzan swinging through the trees. He had a lot of upper body strength, so he was very fit. He was looking fine. And Jane, just like a baddie. Just a baddie. And also, again, another powerful woman. Another power couple, Brandy and the Prince in Cinderella. So hot. Both of them. So beautiful. And Brandy, I need to watch that movie for my main channel, like do a full review of it because I am obsessed with that movie. I watched it more times than I can count as a kid. I thought Brandy and her dress was so gorgeous. I love Brandy's Cinderella dress more than any other interpretation of Cinderella. I think that it is so stunning. I love it. Comment below if you want me to make that video because I definitely want to. Kate Hudson in her yellow dress in How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. Also honorable mention, the scene where they get in the shower together. Nicole Kidman, Moulin Rouge. Particularly appropriate because I just filmed Moulin Rouge for my main channel, which will probably come out after this video. Literally the entire time I'm watching this, 2 weeks ago, okay, guys? I'm like, jaw on the floor, okay? And when I was 13, it was the same thing, okay? She's just, I'm talking about a pretty girl, so I'm like losing the ability to speak. Everyone in Pitch Perfect, the chemistry in Pitch Perfect, Anna Kendrick specifically, although she is very peak. I'm not like other girls. I'm misunderstood and a DJ. Still like so hot. The girls in Totally Spies, hot. Keira Knightley in Bend It Like Beckham. Also kind of that entire movie, but Keira Knightley specifically. Katy Perry's entire video of I Kissed a Girl. And actually I will rewind her entire song of I Kissed a Girl and then the video. I'm not gonna lie. I think that I was so repressed that when I heard that song, I genuinely was like, oh, you can do that? You can like kiss girls? I was floored that was an option. And I also really love that song. I still, to this day, it's a bop. Love it. Jade from Victorious. Now this one I was, I guess, a little bit older. I think I watched Victorious when I was like in high school. I didn't understand it, but I really liked Jade and I was rooting for her all the time. I thought she was so cute and I thought that she was so rude. And I was like, she is who she is and I like that about her. Maybe if I'm lucky, she'll be mean to me, you know? And the last few, Catwoman, Topanga from Boy Meets World. This is one that I got in the comments that I have to mention. The lead singer from the Hex Girls. When Daphne joined and sang a song. I didn't know what this was. I was like, people are liking this comment. I've got to look it up. I get it. I get it. So I had to mention that one. And my last one, I will explain a little bit. This is Men in Black 2, the lingerie model alien. I think it's right at the beginning of Men in Black 2. And I remember that vividly. And I'm so glad someone put it in the comments and reminded me. That was probably the biggest one that I read the comment and I was like, yes, I remember that. So thank you to whoever put that in the comments. You and I are one mind. And so here we are, you know, this is so fun to do, to go back and reflect on moments where you were like, oh, yeah, that was a little gay. That's a little bit, a little bit too much. Girls support girls, you know? And it's so fun now because it's silly. At the time and as I got older, before I left the Mormon church, before I really kind of came into my sexuality, I was filled with a lot of shame. Like I would think back at these moments and feel shame because I think deep down I knew what it meant. And now it can just be funny and silly because we were kids, we were teenagers, we didn't know what was going on. We didn't know what these feelings were inside of us. And now we know and it's fun. And everybody on this still hot. Still hot. It's still an awakening moment. God. So thanks for watching. And if you watched part 1 and part 2, how are you feeling right now? Are you okay? Are you feeling well? Are you feeling a little hot? Just don't forget, Bellesa and I are doing a massive giveaway. Free spicy toys, free gift cards to pick out your own toy. Everyone who uses the link that I have down in my description box wins, okay? I'm not gonna give you guys a lame giveaway. No way. I'm gonna give you good stuff, okay? So thanks again, Bellesa, for sponsoring this video. Literally adore you. I'll meet you guys in the comments where we can discuss more of some of these very gay moments from our childhood. Bye, guys.